Hey guys, Dr. Mandy and Dr. Brad here. So we're just doing a little informal video today. Gonna try to make this a regular thing. Just talking about some helpful tips and healthful advice that we can give you guys. So today we're gonna talk about some cold and flu tips. It is the season where everybody seems to be getting sick.
Lots of sicklies out there.
So we figure what better time than to talk about some things that you can do at home to be boosting your immune system, or when you do get sick, things that you can do to help fight off that sickness. Anything you want to add to that?
No, it sounds good.
Okay, so
Tell the people what they want to hear.
So we are going to just share with you some of our favorite things that we do to...
We use ourselves.
Yes.
We use personally to keep ourselves healthy, and then little baby Kendall healthy too. So
Yeah, so one of the first things would be vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's aware about that. So we recommend using a food-based vitamin C.
yeah, food-based is generally better. Vitamin C is one of those compounds that you need flavonoids and a few other compounds to actually absorb the vitamin C. Typically, if you get a vitamin C off the shelf, like at a health food store, it's ascorbic acid. And not that that's bad, but you'd better absorb it if you had all the other compounds with it, all the other cofactors for it to have an effect. Generally, what do we take? Like a teaspoon?
1 teaspoon
Yeah.
is the recommended amount. But the thing with vitamin C is if you are fighting off sickness, or you start to feel something come on, or you are sick, you can megadose vitamin C.
Yeah.
And you want to tell what that is?
We take around a teaspoon of this has about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. We generally megadose that bad boy for 1,000 milligrams every hour or 2 hours or so. You might be running to the bathroom, so be careful.
Right, so you take it to bowel tolerance. So so what I would recommend is, if you're taking it to help get rid of sickness, or to, if you start feeling something come on, take it every hour, a teaspoon every hour, and then to bowel tolerance. So at some point, if you start feeling like, oh, okay, I'm running to the bathroom, then you need to back off on the vitamin C.
So this is the brand that we like. It's called Alive Vitamin C. It's a powder, so throw it in a smoothie or something. This has vitamin C from particularly acerola cherries, kiwi, goji, and amla. So all those fruits are really high in vitamin C, and you'll notice oranges are not on here, so not a very good source of vitamin C.
Right.
Oranges are.
Another thing that's very important for boosting the immune system would be vitamin D3 and K2.
So this is the one that we provide in the office. Obviously, now that it's winter months, vitamin D is running low in a lot of people, not just in Ohio, but in a lot of parts of the country. You really want to get one that has vitamin D3 and K2 in it specifically, because vitamin D helps absorb calcium, one, from our digestive tract into the blood, and vitamin K actually takes it from the blood and deposits it into the tissues. But vitamin D, generally, you want your levels between 40 and 100. Most people are walking around with chronically low vitamin D, and it's exceptionally useful for the immune system at this time of year. So,
Right.
Also, people don't realize sometimes that vitamin D is what's responsible in some ways for making our hormones, producing our hormones. So it's actually a pro-hormone is what they technically call it. So
Very important.
yeah, so get your vitamin D and vitamin K2 in. Especially, it's not such a big deal if you're taking one without vitamin K, if you're taking like 1,000 IU or 2,000 IU, but once you get above, say, 3,000 IU, you really want to be sure that you have one that has D3 and vitamin K2 in it. So
that's why we like these drops here, because one drop is 1,000 IUs. So
yeah.
And this is even safe for kids and young children. My daughter gets this as well.
1,000 IU?
Yeah, they can get a drop as well.
Yeah.
So it's safe for them. It's tasteless, so it's very easy to do that. And like we were saying, most people are deficient in vitamin D unless you are already supplementing that. Unless you live in the very southern states that get sun pretty much year round and you're outside getting that sun on your skin, then you are likely deficient in vitamin D. So pretty much, especially during the winter months, unless you're out there getting sunshine, which there's not even a lot of sunshine in the wintertime, at least there hasn't been lately, then you need vitamin D. So, and especially if you're sick, or needing to boost your immune system, you want to make sure you get that in there as well. So very important.
Another one I like is zinc. So zinc is, it's a pretty much a central part of the structure of our cells. It's involved in DNA, but it's also great for the immune system. So if we're feeling something come our way, like in the form of a cold or any type of sickness, we like to take zinc. So this is the Now brand, zinc picolinate. Generally you can take anywhere from 30 to 100 milligrams of zinc. One thing to be careful of though when you're taking zinc is to take it with food. If you take say a high dose of 60 milligrams probably above on an empty stomach, you can get a little nauseous, which is not the most fun. I've experienced that myself. So that's why I self-experiment all the time, so I can tell you guys what to do. So generally, I think 50 milligrams is a safe dose for most people of zinc. It's generally not very well absorbed from food, unfortunately. So taking a supplement here and there can be a good thing. I don't think zinc is something, unless you have a really chronic deficiency or you're somebody who's highly stressed, who uses a lot of minerals. I don't think you need to be taking it all the time, but an intermittent supplement is really good. And that's another thing, like we take supplements and everything, but understand that supplements are not like the cure for a bad diet. So that's exactly what it is we supplement a good diet. Supplements are just that, they're supplements.
And on that note as well, like you can have the best diet in the world and take all these immune boosting supplements, and it doesn't mean you're immune to getting sick. Obviously, I'm currently fighting off a cold myself.
Yeah,
but
she's gross. It's just really disgusting.
But taking these things, and when I notice something come on, it's helping my body fight it off better, and honestly, hopefully get rid of it sooner than I would otherwise. But either way, it puts your body in a better state to fight off anything that may come your way. So another one that is really, really good is turmeric. This is turmeric essential oil here.
It's Ancient Apothecary brand.
Right.
We talk about turmeric in the office quite a bit with some of you. Turmeric essential oil is a little different than turmeric, the spice.
Both are good.
Yeah, they're both fantastic. I like the spice. The active ingredients in the spice in turmeric are curcumin and turmeric. Curcumin, you've seen supplements like curcumin supplements out in health food stores. That's the active ingredient, the biggest active ingredient for the anti-inflammatory properties of it. One caveat to having it actually be effective is taking turmeric with fat and a little bit of pepper, whether it be white pepper, cayenne pepper, black pepper, there's all kinds of peppers. Basically, having the turmeric with a spice really opens the capillaries and allows it to penetrate deeper into your tissues. But curcumin and turmeric are fat-soluble compounds, meaning it's like your fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin K. You need fat to be able to absorb those compounds. So make sure if you're going to take turmeric as a spice, which is how I would recommend it.
Cooking with it.
Yeah, cooking with it. Make sure you're taking it with a meal that has a little bit of fat in it at least. I think I use a ton of it, probably too much. She doesn't like when I cook with it. But I think in general, a teaspoon to a tablespoon a day actually is fine. There's all kinds of benefits to turmeric aside from being anti-inflammatory.
Yes,
just Google it, you'll find stuff.
So we don't use this very often, but the oil. Oh. So when I'm sick or fighting off something, or if I feel a cold or coming on sore throat, something like that, then I'll start taking a few drops of this and just a little bit of water, and then. Yeah.
The other thing to understand about turmeric or any essential oil, you can see that little organic symbol there. You don't want to take any essential oils internally if they are meant for aromatherapy. Right. So the only way you want to take them internally is if, in fact, they're organic or they're therapeutic grade essential oils. Right. the turmeric essential oil specifically is higher in that compound turmerone. So turmerone is actually beneficial for boosting your body's own stem cells. So yeah, see, my wife learns something new every day.
Another good, since we were talking
Not
about...
me, I know everything. No, just
since we were talking about using turmeric in a fat soluble, another really great thing, and I'm actually going to share this later in another post, is a golden milk recipe. So golden milk is just, you can Google and look it up, but basically it's something like coconut milk with a lot of turmeric, ginger, maybe a little bit of cinnamon in there. And you drink that. It's actually pretty tasty. I like to do that myself.
I can throw out a recipe really quick. What is it
well,
like?
As I just said, coconut milk, turmeric, ginger. You can do a little bit of cinnamon. So basically it's to taste, but you want to make sure you get enough turmeric in there and ginger to get a little bit of spice. You can also throw in a tiny bit of pepper in there to get that. To make that.
I wouldn't do black pepper. It doesn't really make it taste that good. Cayenne pepper would be a little better. Yeah.
I'll post a recipe later about that, but that's a really good thing. It's also good if you have any like throat and sinus stuff going on to drink that.
Have we talked about this?
We have not talked about that one yet.
So this is what Mandy's currently trying to help battle her sinus infection. It's oil of oregano. This is just a liquid extract. Oil of oregano is high in carvacrol, which is a compound that is really helpful in fighting off respiratory issues, respiratory infections. So we're going to see if that can knock out her stubborn sinus infection.
Yeah, so that can be taken internally. It's very, very strong and kind of tastes like a big piece of pizza in your mouth, but very strong.
It tastes like pizza?
Well, there's oregano in pizza. But anyway, it's more gross than that, but it reminds me of that. Very good for sickness. The last thing is just, like we kind of mentioned, is just having a healthy diet. That's imperative for at any point to help your body stay healthy and fight off any sickness. Especially when you are trying to fight off a cold or flu, or you feel something come on. One of the biggest things is to make sure you're getting lots of leafy green vegetables, lots of vegetables, period. One thing that I personally like to do, we both do, we like to do either wheatgrass. Dr. Brad likes to put some in his salads. Sometimes I'll put some wheatgrass in a little bit of water and do like a wheatgrass shot. Or I'll do something like this amazing grass greens powder here, which contains wheatgrass and lots of other fruits and vegetables, very high in antioxidants and micronutrients. I try to drink this daily, and our daughter loves it as well. She's 18 months and she loves having her green juice with mommy. So if you get your kids started,
it's so adorable.
If you get your kids started while they're young, you know, they grow up enjoying that and liking it. So I know that she gets her, you know, nutrients through that as well. And sometimes you can slip in some other stuff in there as well too to make sure that they get the stuff that they need. So I'll do this. I try to do this every day. And if I feel sick, sometimes I'll double up on it or even do 3 to 4 times a day. Honestly, it just depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. So, and I mean, really, you can throw that into a smoothie. Like, you can throw all of this stuff that we've shown you pretty much into a smoothie.
Right. So, however you need to do to disguise the taste or get it down. This actually tastes pretty good to me, so I don't mind drinking this. The other stuff, I'll usually just put in a small amount of water just so I can get it down as easily as I can. Yeah. But yes, you can definitely throw it in a smoothie. And another thing to note about diet in relation to sickness, especially upper respiratory things, colds, allergies, sinus stuff, get rid of dairy. If you have any type of cold, congestion, nasal stuff going on, cough, bronchitis, get rid of dairy if you don't already.
That'd be one of the biggest culprits.
Yeah, dairy promotes mucus, and when you're sick, that's the last thing that you want is to promote more mucus. You want to get that mucus out of there. So if you do eat dairy and you start to get sick or you are sick, go ahead and eliminate dairy from your diet until you get better. Yeah. And that'll kind of help with that.
That just kind of triggered. So 2 more things that you could add in. We already touched on ginger actually for the golden milk, but ginger in and of itself is a pretty drying substance. If you have a cold, we want to dry that up.
Ginger tea is
and
good.
Then, ginger tea combined actually with Palo D'Arco tea. Those are 2 really drying substances and really anti-inflammatory and great for respiratory issues too. So. And shameless plug, right? Like, we have to get adjusted.
Oh, yes. I don't know why.
So many people coming in sick lately. It's a miracle that I haven't gotten sick. Actually, it's not because I get adjusted and I do all this stuff.
Yeah.
The chiropractic adjustment has been shown through research to boost immune cells, specifically in the respiratory tract. So that's why it's useful for asthma. That's why it's useful for the immune system itself. So be sure you're getting your spine checked and looked at, and that'll keep the spine healthy, but then it'll also help you fight off illness a little bit better.
Yeah, we have a few people here in the office who know that when they get sick, they pretty much come in pretty soon after they get sick, or they're fighting off something, because they just know that it helps them. So we always like it when patients do that, but there's definitely benefits. So even if you're sick, don't feel bad about coming in, within reason, obviously. If you're throwing up and have a very high fever, it might be a good idea to stay home, but...
Yeah, don't come in and see me if you're throwing up. I don't know.
No, we don't want to see you then, but especially any type of stuff that goes around this time of year, little bugs and upper respiratory stuff, you can definitely come in and get adjusted and see if we can help you get feeling better.
Yeah.
Anything else you want
No,
to
I think that's it.
All right, well, we covered a lot of stuff here. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to us on our page, and we will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.
All right, see you guys.